Good morning, students. Today, our topic is basics of information technology, and this is the last part of Unit 1. So, in this lecture, we are going to discuss some terms related to information technology, and the first term is multimedia. As you know that multimedia is a term used for combination of media here. Multi means more than one, and media are the text, graphics, sound, animation, and video. These are the five different media. So whenever we make an application using a combination of these media, then it is called a multimedia application. So multimedia is basically a combination of text, graphics, sound, animation, and video to effectively communicate ideas to users. That is the definition of multimedia. So what is multimedia? You can easily see that there are different five medias are there: text, video, audio, animation, and graphics, which makes an interactive product. So multimedia combines different formats here. You can easily see here. SMS is an example of text message, and MMS is an example of multimedia message service. So that is a reference example of multimedia application. These are the multimedia some applications also in the field of e-commerce. We use multimedia applications. Training and distance learning, multimedia is used. In research and references also multimedia applications are used. Multimedia applications are used in entertainment and different games, in medical applications, and as well as in engineering applications. So these are the fields where multimedia applications are used. These are the multimedia applications. In fields of e-commerce, means electronic commerce, training and distance learning, research and reference, entertainment and games, medical applications, and engineering applications. Our next term is social networking. A social networking service is an online service or website that focuses on building and reflecting of social relations among peoples. You can easily see the definition here. And these peoples are connected through same interest or network. They have same interest or they can share same network also. Now you can easily see that using use of social networking sites. When we talk about social networking site, then it is related to social media, career, different types of connections, social skills, different types relationship, virtual community is there, friendship, online, business opportunities, alliances, contacts, internet. So these are the key features of social networking sites. So next question is, what type of social networking sites are there? Social connections, keeping in touch. So these are Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. Multimedia sharing, basically it shares photos and videos, just as YouTube, Flickr, Picasa. And professionals in career related growth, just as Classroom 2.0, Nurse Connect. And informational means answer to everyday problems, Super Green Me, do it yourself community. So these are the example of different social media sites. So there are so many number of social media sites available on internet. You can pick according to your choice, according to your interest. The main purpose of the social networking is gives you online service that focuses on building and reflecting of social relations among peoples. Okay, now next topic is chat. So chat is a general term for real time communication that occurs over the internet. There are three different types of chats: normally text chat, then voice chat, and then video chat. Voice chat where participant speaks to each other in real time, much like they would be using a telephone. Then video chat where participants can see and speak to each other, that is the video chat. And normal chat can be continuous with participants entering and leaving ongoing discussion for a specific time and to last for a specific duration. And there is a one more important point regarding to chatting. Because chatting requires participant to type quickly and not to worry about the proper spelling and grammar. So there may be spelling mistakes when chat is used, and some short forms also used while chatting. So three types of chatting are there: voice chat, video chat, and text chat. Most common format of the chat is text chat. Our next topic is cloud computing. That is a most important topic. Cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing refers to storing and accessing data and program over the internet instead of your computer hard drive. So in cloud computing, we save our data and our programs over the internet instead of our computer hard drive. So that is the main advantage of cloud computing. So uh, using cloud computing, we have two basic advantage over basic advantage, and these advantages are um, physical damage is not there when we use cloud computing because we stored our program on the internet. And the second advantage is there, we don't worry about the size of the hard disk here because the internet provide you a big space as compared to your hard drive. So there are two different types of cloud here, that is called the public cloud and private cloud. These are the two important terms here, or we can say that cloud computing can be categorized into two basic categories: public cloud and private cloud. So first of all, cloud computing should be very clear. That means storing and accessing data. Storing and accessing data and program over the internet instead of using computer hard drive. So we access means we perform read write operations, and we stored our programs over the internet without using computer hard drive. So we, instead of computer hard drive, so we don't save data in our computer hard drive, we just save our data and access our data and programs over the internet. Not only just save or storing the data, but also access the data and programs over the internet. That is the cloud computing. And there are two different types of cloud computing: public cloud and private cloud. So let us take them one by one. First of all, public cloud. As the name suggests, public cloud. So public cloud refers to the common cloud service made available to multiple subscriber. And with a public cloud, all hardware, software, and supporting infrastructure is owned and managed by the cloud provider, and everything is shared by the cloud subscriber. An example of public cloud are Microsoft Azure, Google Drive, Amazon Cloud Drive. So these are the example of public cloud. So public cloud refers to a common cloud service that is made available to multiple subscribers. And in public cloud, hardware, software, and other supporting infrastructure is owned and managed by cloud provider. And most important thing is everything is shared by all cloud subscribers. So no privacy is here and there, or less privacy is there. So that is why they are called as public cloud. And most important example is Google Drive here, and some other example are Microsoft Azure, Amazon Cloud Drive. So these are the example of public cloud. Next is a private cloud. As the name suggests, private clouds consist of computing resources used exclusively owned by one business or organizations. So private clouds are often used by government agencies, from financial institutions and other mid to large size organizations. So private clouds consist of computing resources used by exclusively owned by one business organization. So resources are not shared in case of private cloud, and so information we can manage information for a particular organization, and there is no sharing of data until and unless the cloud owner wants to share the data. So there is more security of data and information in private cloud, and these are the most of the time these are used by the government agencies and some financial institution and some other mid to large size organizations. So now here, this is the end of unit 1. These are some important topics. So unit 1 is over here. Now let us take a quick revision of all the points. These are which are the related to this unit and we discuss in this lecture. First of all, multimedia, as the name suggests, combination of more than one media, means the combination of text, graphics, sound, animation and video, which give you effectively communicate idea to user, is called the multimedia application. And you can see that these are the different media. The combination of these media is called the multimedia. Multimedia used in e-commerce, training and distance learning, research and references, entertainment and games, medical application, engineering applications. Then next is social networking site. This is basically online service or a website that focus on building and reflecting the social relations among people. Different categories are there: social connections, multimedia sharing, professionals and informationals. So you can use any of them according to your choice or requirement here. For social connection, Facebook, Twitter, Google, these are the social connection networking, social networking sites here. Then multimedia sharing, YouTube, Flickr, Picasa. Professional, Classroom 2.0, Nerds Connect. And informational, Super, GreenMe and Do It Yourself community. Next is chat. Chat is basically real-time communication that occurs over the internet. 3 different types of chats are here: text chat, voice chat and video chat. Then cloud computing, storing and accessing data over internet without instead of using computer hard drive, is called the cloud computing. 2 types of cloud computing is here. Public cloud means it is a common cloud service made available to multiple subscribers. So in public cloud, hardware, software and other supporting infrastructure is owned and managed by cloud provider, and everything is shared to cloud subscriber. Example is Microsoft Azure, Google Drive and Amazon Cloud Drive. Next is private cloud. In private cloud consists of computing resources used exclusively owned by one business or organizations. So these are the different topics related to unit 1. Now unit 1 is over here, complete here, and next unit is cyber safety. It is unit 2. So first of all, let us talk about cybercrime. What is cybercrime? Cybercrime is defined as a crime where a computer is the object of the crime or is used as a tool to commit an offense. So that is the definition of cybercrime. In cybercrime, there is a use of computer. In short, cybercrime is any type of illegal activity that takes place via digital means. That is the shortest definition of cybercrime. Cybercrime is any type of illegal activity that takes place via digital means, and then cybercrime is a criminal activity that involves a computer, network device, or a network. That is the third definition or third point, important point regarding to a cybercrime. So, first of all, any criminal activity, and this involves computer, a network device, or a network. So, generally we can say that cybercrime is a crime over internet using any digital device. Then there are two types of cybercrime that may be asked in your examination: phishing and pharming. So there is a comparison in these two, as you can see in the screen. So first of all, the phishing attackers tries to find the sensitive information of users by the means of electronic communication illegally. In this, these are the two different methods of information theft and phishing and pharming. In both of them, uh, information theft is there, but in phishing, as you can see here, the attacker tries to find the sensitive information of users by the means of electronic communication illegally. And in pharming is a more advanced technique to get users credential by making effort to entering user into the website. So users basically uh, send their information by electronic means. Then phishing, it is important to scam people one at a time via an email or instant message. And in pharming, it simply redirects traffic from one website to different identical looking website to steal information. Next, phishing is, it is an electronic mail fraud, and it is similar to nature to email phishing. And fourth point regarding to phishing is, it is a type of fraud in which an attacker tricks the victims into providing personal information via email or a message. And in pharming, it is a scam and seeks to obtain personal and private information through domain spoofing. So domain spoofing is used in pharming. Next is, it is relatively easy to initiate and identify, and pharming it is more difficult to accomplish and identify. Next, regarding to phishing, it involves fraudulent email containing a link to a website seeking personal details from users. And in pharming, it poisons the DNS server, redirecting the users to a different website. Next important point regarding to phishing, it uses email, and pharming, it uses websites. So first of all, one difference should be clear to all of you: the difference between phishing and pharming. That in phishing, generally a hacker sends an email to you for such type of message that you won a lottery, and you, if you want to claim that lottery, you give your personal information include your name, your surname, your bank account details, etc. And you just fill that form and send that to that address, and hacker gets that details of you. And after just getting the detail of your personal accounts, then there is a fraud. It fraud because a hacker in that case may be possible that it takes benefit by using your, by illegal use of your account, and draw some money from your account. That is the case of phishing. So in case of phishing, just you just give your personal information by yourself on clicking on an email. Okay. Pharming is another case. In pharming, basically, when you work on a particular website, then that information is not sent to that particular website. Instead of that information sent to another website or another, and where this information can be stored, and this is used in an illegal manner, that is called the farming. So farming is just more typical as compared to the phishing. First of all, phishing is simple, in which the user can give its own information by its own, personal information by its own. But in farming, there is a redirect of mail, or we can say that redirect. There is a term known as, here you can easily see that, DNS server. It poisons the DNS server, domain name servers, first of all, in case of farming, and redirecting the users to a different website. And you are not aware that you you give your personal information to another website. That is a case of farming here. So that is the basic difference between phishing and farming. And second is, phishing uses mail and farming using website. And phishing is very easy to implement and initiate, but farming is more difficult to accomplish and identify. Both are the type of cybercrime here. So phishing is basically related to electronic mail fraud. Okay, and then the main cause of the farming is the point number 2. You can easily see here. It simply redirect traffic from one website to a different identical looking website to steal information. And you are not aware that this is the same website or not. It looks identical to the original website, and you just give or access that give your personal information to that. You just give your personal information to that website, or just clicking on that website, so your personal information can be accessed by another person. That is case of farming here. So that is the main difference between phishing and farming. So phishing is a general term in which attackers tries to find the sensitive information of users by the means of electronic communication illegally. Okay, and in farming is a more advanced technique to get users credentials by making effort by entering into the website. So farming is much more difficult to implement as compared to phishing. Here you can see another term, domain spoofing. So here, what is spoofing? Spoofing, or the word spoof, means to trick or to deceive. Therefore, in the IT word, spoofing refers to the tricking or the deceiving computer systems or other computer users. So this is typically done by the hides one identity or faking the identity of another user on the internet. So that is called the spoofing. And here the domain spoofing here, because you just make a you just because in the case of the domain spoofing, basically attackers tricks web browser into communicating with a different web server than the user intended. So that is the domain spoofing. And spoofing are there are more there are two other types of spoofing are there, that is IP spoofing and email spoofing. In IP spoofing, attackers uses IP address of another computer to acquire information or gain access, while in email spoofing, attacker sends email but makes it appear to come from someone else. So that is the another type of spoofing here. So basically farming is a type of domain spoofing, or we can say that web spoofing here. Now we can see that phishing is the process of collecting your personal information through emails or website claiming to be the legitimate. So this information can be include username, password, that is your credit card numbers, social security numbers, means your Aadhaar numbers, etc. And oftentimes the email directs you to a website where you can update your personal information, because these sites of look official. They hope you are restrict into disclosing valuable information that you normally would not reveal, and this oftentimes result in identity theft and financial loss. So these are the two basically basic result result in terms of identity theft and financial loss. While in farming basically is a more advanced technique to use to get users credentials by making efforts to entering users into the website, and in other words it misdirects users. In other words, it misdirects users to fake website that appears to be the official, and victim gives their personal information by fault. By fault, um, by fault, then victims gives its personal information. And in farming, fake websites is created. First of all, always remember that in farming, fake website is created which appears to be official, and users then access the website and request is popped up regarding username and password and other credentials. So that is the main concept behind farming. There is a important term also appears here, DNS server. So the DNS server is basically refers for domain name servers. So DNS servers are the internet's equivalent of a phone book, and they maintain a directory of domain names and translate them to internet protocols, means in IP addresses. And this is necessary because although domain names are easy for people to remember, computers or machine access website based on the IP address. So that is the domain name. So domain names are the internet's equivalent of a phone book. Now back to the topic. There are different types of cybercrimes in which phishing and pharming are the most commonly used, but there are some other cybercrimes also. These includes unauthorized use and hacking. Second is web hijacking. Third is pornography, and fourth is software piracy. Next is salami attack, service attack, virus attack. So these are the different types of cyber crimes that are used, and in this lecture our focus is to uh, define what is the difference between phishing and pharming. In our next lecture we will discuss phishing and pharming in detail, and some other types of cyber crimes also. And the US Department of Justice, that is DOJ, actually divides cybercrime into three different categories. When we talk about the cybercrime, so definition that is given in this video is a basic definition, but the US Department of Justice, also known as DOJ, defines cybercrime or divides cybercrime into three basic categories. First category is crimes in which the computing device is the target, for example, to gain network access. Second, crime in which the computer is used as a weapon, for example, to launch a denial of service attacks. It means you are not able to access your computer. And third is crimes in which the computer is used as an accessory to a crime, for example, using a computer to store illegally obtained data. So these are the three different categories of a cybercrime here. And there are some more important terms regarding to cybercrime. These two terms are very common, hacker and cracker. Most of them they are they are considered as the same, but there is a little bit difference between hacker and cracker. Hacker basically is a person who is interested in the working of any computer operating system. Most often hackers are the programmers, and hackers obtain advanced knowledge of operating system and programming language. They may know various security holes within system and the reason of the such holes. But the cracker is a person who breaks into the other people's systems with malicious intentions. So we can say that cracker have malicious intention, while hacker does not have any type of malicious intentions. And crackers gain unauthorized access, destroy important data, stop service provided by the server, or basically cause problem for their targets. So cracker can easily be identified because their actions are malicious. So With malicious intention, hackers are called the crackers. In simple word, we can say that. And hackers basically does work. They hackers does not work against the law, but crackers, we can say that, are the criminals and they work against laws. So that is the basic difference between hacker and cracker. These topics again will be discussed in our next lecture also. So thanks for watching this video.